Take a moment out to welcome everybody to the R.A.W approach. I am Dr. Woods, and we are here today. We're going to talk about a variety of different levels of leadership. Leadership as it deals with effective practices, navigating change, fostering a team collaboration, developing a vision, or even motivating, inspiring your employees. Then on the flip side, do you really know your employees? Do you really know what leadership is good for them? Beneficial. Is the leadership that you have, is it beneficial for the work environment and the industry that you're in? I invite you all to give me your comments. And if you want to come on live, we can talk about some things. Just let me know and we can go from there. Either way, we're going to have a good discussion. We're going to enjoy the process and we're going to make it do what it do. All right. Before I move on, does anyone have any questions at this moment in time? Cool. Let me ask you, do you know what leadership is beneficial for you? The reason I say this, in today's industry, and not only in today's industry, in today's time, there's a lot of things that goes on with leadership that sometimes we pay no attention to. Developing, coaching, mentoring, and having a listening ear of what's really going on around us. This is a topic I know a lot of people don't want to talk about, but we're going to have to get there. With this administration, this federal administration, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with diversity, equality, which is equity, and inclusion. They call it DEI. There have been many strides to make some changes. There's been many strides, whether people agree with it or not, to make the organization more equal, if you can say. What do you find, or do you identify your organization as being strong in DEI, in the division, the diversity, the equity, and inclusion? There's a lot that goes on with this in today's time. I know a lot of people have a lot of concerns about that. It's all over the social media. It's all over television, along with any and everything else that's going on. It is good to know that people care on things that I think sometimes we take for granted. And then we get in these situations, we don't know if we're coming or going. That's never a good situation to be in. Sometimes we have to be more proactive. That's the important part of being a leader. Sometimes you got to make decisions that's not favorable. Sometimes you got to take one for the team. Taking one for the team is not always a negative situation. Sometimes you may have a team member that totally understands, or team members that totally understand the changing of the culture. This is important when you had to sit down and come up with another leadership style to deal with that situation. And maybe, it's called strategic vision and change management. Strategic vision and change management. Why is that important? There's a lot of time that people come, they make leaders come and they give ideals and they start making policy and procedure changes. But a lot of times people don't understand the vision. That is the catch. How do you communicate the vision to the people that you are leading so they can feel a part, so they can feel worthy of the changes that's going on? All changes don't have to be a bad thing. Change does not have to be a bad thing. Then you go into change management. How do you manage that change where it don't appear to be negative? How do you keep your people involved? Something to think about. What does that vision look like? Have you ever been in a situation where you had a leader that you may have identified that they was not moving in the ethical way? They was not making ethical decisions. Ethical leadership and decision making is critical. It helps you to build a strong ethical culture within an organization. When you have people that believe in you and they believe that you are making decisions that is ethical, you are leading through an ethical perspective, people will lead. And more important, most people will follow that leader. The catch with being an ethical leader, and this is what I like, is the importance of being transparent and accountable in one's leadership style. Let me say that again. The importance of being an ethical leader is being transparent and being accountable in your leadership style. Think about that. There are going to come situations where you're going to have to navigate yourself through ethical dilemmas and leadership situations. Meaning that everything is not going to be cookie cutter. Every decision you make is not going to be easy. There's going to be some decisions at the end of the day that's going to be based on your ethical leadership. Can you be accountable for the decisions that you make? Can you be transparent in the decisions that you make? Ethical leadership and decision making. Now, we were just sitting here talking about developing leadership skills. We were sitting here talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. So as you coming on, feel free to give your comments. Feel free to join in. Feel free to be a part of the show. I want to always encourage you to be a part. Don't just sit there. I know it's good to listen. I know it's good to take notes, but just be mindful. There's somebody out there that is thinking the way you're thinking and want to hear someone. So don't hold on to any type of questions or concerns that you have. Express it so the discussion can occur and we can start developing a change. Now, let's dive back into DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. What does that mean from a leadership perspective? Do your organization put together strategies to promote diversity? Do your organization put together strategies to bring about inclusion for everyone? Do your organization bring about strategy, bring about inclusions for everyone that focuses on a team within the organization? DEI has become serious. It's a big topic out here, you all. The president, the federal government, they are talking about it, making changes. People feel that equal rights is gone. Now I ask you, how do you deal with DEI in your perspective? Share it. It states that DEI addresses the unconscious bias in creating an inclusive workplace. Do you feel that your workplace is inclusive? Just something to think about. Now, let's talk about leadership styles and approaches. Do you know the different leadership styles and when one is most effective than the other? Do you know what leadership style can help produce a greater outcome, a greater product, depending on your workplace, depending on the style of employees you have? Do you understand what type of leadership is most effective in your industry? Share your concerns. Anything that you have, you want to share, holler at me. Text it to me. If you want to come on live, come on. We're dealing with some true leadership stuff today. Let me ask you this. How many times have you been in a situation and you feel that leadership always want to change the staff and not change themselves? Think about it. So many times leadership can see a problem. Employees can see a problem. Instead of addressing it from a higher level down, a lot of times they want to address this from the lowest level up. I don't know about you, but being in those situations as just an employee, and when I feel like I was giving my all and my coworkers giving their all, and yet it just wasn't enough, I looked at myself as an employee. Is that my issue? Is my organization providing me the resources and tools to be successful? Did my organization provide me the information I needed? Did they show me the proper way to go about to get the result that they wanted? I give you a perfect example. When I was with the Department of Children's Services, one of the most shocking things to me, I always felt that there never was a opportunity to be mentored, to be coached, and it just wasn't them. I also, when I was at G4S, Academy for Young Women, I always felt that there wasn't a mentorship. There wasn't someone there to tell you how to go about getting the job done in a proper way, a proper manner. We all come from one organization to another organization, and then you realize what I was doing at McDonald's don't work here at Burger King. What I was doing here at Kentucky Fried Chicken sure is not going to work at Chick-fil-A. So the thing is, in order to be productive, there has to be some type of mentorship. There has to be some type of coaching, some type of guiding to get you where you need to go. And so the thing is, how can leaders adapt their styles to different situations and team dynamics? That's it right there. The team is different. I don't know many teams, even within an organization, that stay the same 6 months to a year. If you have one of them teams that stays together after 2 years, you might have a happy team. You might have a team that's self-motivating. You might have a team that finds greater rewards than just a paycheck. Just saying. If you want, give me a shout out so I know where you are. You ain't got to say your name or anything like that. Let me know where you're representing from. I see I got Clarksville in the house by 4 or 5 times. What's up, Clarksville? I got Memphis in the house, Nashville in the house. Shout out. Thank you for joining. I got Murfreesboro in the house. What's up, Murfreesboro? I thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. I have Texas in the house. What's up, Texas? You ain't in no Nashville. You from Murfreesboro. Well, if you in Nashville, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing okay. Hope everything is well. All right. To my leaders out there. Let me talk to you right now about building and managing teams. All leaders, just because you're in leadership position, let me get a little bit closer. I want to talk to my leaders right now. And I want y'all to know that Dr. Woods got your back. Just because you're in leadership position don't necessarily mean that you're ready to lead that group. We all know that some people take leadership positions because it's an opportunity for a promotion. Some people take leadership positions because they are natural born leaders. Some people take leadership positions because they want to make change. And what I like most important is people that take leadership positions because they care for the people. Straight to the point. They care about the people. the people that's working for them. And this is the $1 million question that I always ask all leaders. If you piss off all your employees and your employees decide to leave and walk out, you can't be a leader if there's no one there to be led. Let me say that again. What is a leader when there's no one there to be led? If you always have that in the back of your mind, you're going to always try to make the best decisions that's conducive for the organization, for your leadership style, and most importantly, for your people. This is the number one thing when building and management teams. As a leader, do you know how to build and create a culture that's full of trust and open communication within that team? People don't mind being led, but they want to have some level of trust in you. On the flip side, they want you to be able to trust them. They just not coming to work just to be at work. They coming because they signed up for the job, but they still want to feel appreciated. They still want to feel like that they are part of this open communication that you are bringing to them. Most importantly, they want to feel part of the team. The R.A.W approach stands on 3 letters. R.A.W. What's up, Brian Harold? Antioch in the house. R.A.W. again. Respect, appreciate, worthy. Even as an organizational leader, you may not like me, but I'm going to provide you with the respect. And in turn, we're going to respect one another. Respect is given. Respect should be also desired. Second, appreciate. Appreciate your employees. Appreciate those that is part of your community, your team. Appreciate them. And next, all employees just want to feel worthy of the organization, worthy to be able to make change, worthy to be able to come in and have an idea to be able to share with leadership about what they feel is going on an everyday basis to make a change. R.A.W. Wow. The R.A.W approach. Hey, next thing in building and managing team, strategies for managing conflict. What's going on, Charles Chambers? That's my neighborhood partner. How y'all doing? Strategies for managing conflict. A lot of people don't know how to manage conflict because conflict is going on within themselves. A lot of people has problem dealing with conflict because you're dealing with conflict at home. I have many different theories on how to deal with things in the workplace. And I deal with things from the perspective from a relationship perspective. Let me give you something for free. If I give you too much, it's going to cost you. When you look at a situation at work and you feel puzzled and don't know how to go about finding a resolution, let me get this to you. Slow it down for one quick second. Take it out of the workplace and put it in a relationship. If this was something that was going on in your personal relationship, take the time and write down how you would handle that. Well, then when you look at those traits that you done wrote down, then identify and look at it from the workplace. Now, when you have issues in a relationship, you don't just get up and leave all the time. Well, let me say some people don't. Some people don't. Some people do. Some people stick around and they figure it out and they make it happen. Well, sometime even in the workplace, you got to figure out what it takes and make things happen. And make it do what it do. What's going on, Big Von? Next thing, to my leaders out there, do you really have an open door policy? Do you really have an open door policy? Or is it just words that you say? Is it things that sound good, but you're not putting no action to it? Do you offer an opportunity for your people, your co-workers, to provide feedback and to openly tell you what's going on and how they want to make changes and the opportunity for those changes? Do you offer the opportunity for coaching team members? Can team members coach one another? Big Von, you come on for me for a quick second if you're able. Let me see. I'm gonna hit one more, then I'm gonna let you all have it. Let's go with, this is a good one. Current challenges and future trends. There's current challenges that we are dealing with now in the workplace, and also there's future trends. If you ain't been able to go to work and see the challenges that are going on in today, one of the challenges, people don't want to come back to the workplace. They don't want to come back. They have been at home, working from home, being as productive as they can be. Now the workplace wanting them to come back, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days a week. Those are current challenges. One of the future trends is, on the flip side, you got more organizations that is looking and seeing the opportunity to cut the overhead and allow people to get the same production from home. The catch with all of that right there is, this gonna shock you coming out of my mouth. Get ready. Get ready. I'm about to tell you what the issue is and the solution. The issue is, it depends on the person. Slow depends on the person at the end of the day. What's going on, Big Von?
What's up, big dog? How you doing?
Man, it's all you, man. Sitting here talking about some different perspective in leadership, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right now, I'm hitting a point talking about current changes and future trends in the workplace.
Okay.
I just gave the example of you got some organizations wanting people to come back to the workplace where people that have been home since COVID.
Right.
And they forcing them to come back about 2 or 3 days out the week to the point that some people just saying, man, you got that. Then on the flip side, as a future trend, you got more companies and we're trying to figure out how to put the people at home to cut that overhead.
Right.
So let me ask you, Vaughn, as a supervisor in some of the most difficult places that we have worked in, how would you handle a situation like that?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. Where we worked at, it's like.
So that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. You gonna lose a lot of workers trying to bring them back into that environment because it was already hostile leaving.
Yeah.
So once they got the enjoyment for being home and not having to deal with the headaches of being in the workplace, and not so much as the kids that we work with, more so having to deal with the adults that we have to work with. Don't nobody want to walk back into that jungle, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to kind of manage that out, though, because they got freedom.
They got freedom.
Yeah.
We got Baltimore in the house. What up, Baltimore? I'm giving everybody a shout out what they from today.
So, that's
Baltimore, you want to come on camera too? But you know what though, Vaughn? With that, what you saying is, this is so crazy, man. And me and Mr. Bratcher talk about this all the time, man. Right before COVID happened, man, we have gotten everything because we believe, and you and I we talked about this. If you got just enough people to work, you already understand in those type of environments.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you understand.
Right.
So one of the things that we did, man, we put together a program where we allowed, and we got approved through the corporate office. Now, this is going to be the trip part. We got approved through the corporate office where we can have tiers of beginning supervisors, preparing them to different levels of supervisors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had like a tier 1 where you supervise a specific dorm. We had a tier 2 where you supervise 2 dorms. And then you had a tier 3 where you assisted with the actual supervisors to learn the flow and the operation, the policy, and the procedures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, and we had that going so good, man. We had so much staff that either we were having problems getting hours for our PRN.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get the PRN because they didn't. Yeah. But we still found a way to get everybody in. And man, when I tell you, when there was a situation, there was a cold call, man, them kids would see about they look like 50-something staff coming on that unit.
Right.
But it really wasn't. It was the parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, we had that working so good, rolling so smooth. So you know what they're going to do. Something that's already agreed upon. Yeah. Something that they can approve. Something that was working flawlessly.
Right.
Come in, do a walk through and say, we got too many people working. Bond. They took our PRNs, sent them to other facilities. They took some of our people that was, that was there as, our employees, as our, they sent our
successful people said we had too many people. They sent them to a facility.
Other facilities. Okay.
So guess what, Mom?
All right, it went haywire then.
Them people just quit. They just quit altogether because their thing was, I didn't come here to work at these facilities.
Right. I came to work here.
I came to work at the detention. And this was the trip part. We had people bought in to work in the detention center compared to a residential.
Right.
They couldn't figure it out. Get ready for this. Not even one good month later, Vaughn, guess what happened?
What's that?
COVID. So you know what happened when COVID happened?
Didn't
People
nobody
they didn't want to come to work.
Right.
They didn't want to come to work. So now we super short. We super short. This is why I tell people when sometimes you got stuff going right.
Right.
Sometimes people just need to leave it alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is another one on the current changes and future trends. I try to get Russell to come on. I see I'm trying to add on Russell Sadler. What up, Sadler? Where's Sadler living at now?
Oh, he in Arizona.
I was about to say California. I know he was somewhere hot.
Yeah, he just came back from Cali.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh. What up, Sadler?
Big day.
What up, Sadler?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Now I'm sitting in the cars watching football practice, some football practice. What y'all doing?
Man, chopping it up.
Just talking up, man. We're discussing leadership out here, man.
Oh, discussing leadership.
Yeah, we're discussing all different types of leadership and stuff. And Vaughn just came on a little bit second ago. But let me ask you this. Let me put this in your lap. Because what do you do now, big time?
Right now?
Look, he didn't know his name. Big time.
That's awesome. I'm a safety manager for Mortensen Construction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, safety manager.
Yeah.
As we discuss the current challenges and future trends, what do you find as the impact of technology on leadership practice? Do you find that there's an impact on how technology is changing the practice?
Oh yeah, so technology has enhanced people's ability to lie. With AI, if you really wanted whatever job you wanted and what level you wanted, you can type a few words in AI and you have a resume. If you really wanted to talk about organizational leadership and act like you was somebody that you never been before, you can do that with AI. And what we're starting to find out is that people are not qualified to do certain jobs, certain tasks because of technology. You don't have the experience.
Hey, let me tell you why what you said is a good point. I think the interview is more important now than it was before.
Yes.
Because AI can't do that interview for you.
No, I can't at all. So I'll give you a prime example. So in the field that I'm in, there's some loopholes. There's some loopholes. If you have a degree, there's some loopholes. If you worked on a construction site, if you know what to type in AI, you can get it. So we have hired 2 employees. All right, one employee, and they're 47 years old, worked at the fire department. Says that this person was XYZ type of worker. Gets the job, and unfortunately, this person wasn't able to hack it out. They didn't know the basic steps of the job, and it felt like as a manager that we have to train this person, and I have to waste more time with this person than me hiring somebody else that has the experience. And looking back at my times in leadership, experience was the issue. Like we hired people that didn't have the right type of experience.
Yeah.
We hired people that didn't know how to deal with conflict resolution. They were too young for the role that they were in, and it caused more problems.
We just talked
when
about
things when things are nice and if on an even keel, everything is nice. You bring somebody in thinking that they can help the situation. They elevated the situation to something that was too emotional for that role.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm starting to understand now is that we're not really going off of emotional intelligence. We're just going off of accolades, and sometimes those accolades don't. The best tool in life is experiences, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think that's one of the worst concepts and theories ever created. And I know a lot of people is going to argue me down, but I think emotional intelligence was terrible. I think it was terrible, man. My perspective is we have gone to a society that is full of emotion.
Yeah.
No facts or reason.
For no reason, and it's supposed to be expected. Now, you talked about hiring people, and you know, I have so many hospitals, behavioral health that I deal with, and one of them I have in California. I'm not going to give the city. They have been doing interviews, and one of the things that we talked about last week was exactly what you spoke about. Is on paper.
What's that door?
On paper, man, they sound awesome.
Awesome.
Man, I'm talking about like they about to be an A+ employee. But when you
like
have
they can take your job, they sound that good on paper.
But when you have that interview with them, man, they were telling me, they were like, Dr. Woods, man, they couldn't even discuss the basics of how to do the job that we're talking about. They did everything that looked good on paper to get through the door. But my homeboy told me, he said, man, he wanted to throw 5 of them out the door like Fred Flintstone. Did Dino.
No, you need bodies. And that's the problem. You need bodies.
Yeah.
When you need bodies because of a depleted workforce, it causes a lot of distraction, and you got to see what bodies are going to be able to fit into the recipe. Yeah,
absolutely. You know, and that almost puts me in this is one of the I'm finishing up a book right now talking about, you know, the whole concept of the R.A.W approach. But my second book that I got titled coming is Leadership by Default. Okay.
Yeah. Explain that one. Explain that. That's a good one.
Okay.
Leadership by default.
I ain't gonna get too big in it. I don't need nobody writing my book. But
all right.
But
give me the premise.
I'm gonna give this to you. I'm gonna give this piece to you though.
All right.
Leadership by default. I always look at that, and I hate to always go to the Department of Children's Service in that industry. And you know, you work with kids. You know, we all did it together. What I found out, man, you will have some highly qualified people in these jobs, but because of red tape, because of policies, and because of the leaders above them that really didn't understand, leaders like me were like, hey, I'm out. Peace. I ain't gonna find something else to do now to deal with this headache. Then you got a lot of people that's been there doing the bare minimum. You already know they're doing the bare minimum. But they there because you gotta have somebody fill that spot.
Right.
Well, when people start to leave and all the highly qualified people leave, guess what? They need a supervisor. Well, I'm gonna go to old Annie over there who's been here for 15 years.
Right.
She may not know how to lead, but
she knows
what's going on to train somebody else.
Right.
That's
right.
just the minimal perspective. Now, when I go into deep on the book, it's gonna come with the pros and cons of how to take that to the next level. believe me, it's gonna have a good ending.
Yeah, you got a lot of key points. But when you said leadership by default, I'm gonna take it the other way.
Come on.
Because there's been some times where you can walk into a room and you can vibrate so high that it don't even matter who your boss is, that everybody in the room will see that you're the leader.
Yes.
And that's something that's given to you. That's not earned. That's something that from when you was a kid, from what was instilled in you, and no one can take that away.
Absolutely. But that goes with the $1 million question that people always ask: are leaders born or are they made?
Yeah.
I think leaders are made at a young age.
I think they're born, man.
Go ahead. Yeah, they're born.
I think they're born, man. You gotta have it. You gotta step into it. You gotta step into it as a young age, man. I mean, even not to be a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like with your peers when you're a young kid.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that's something. Yeah, I think that's born, man.
Hey, that is still a research that is still going on today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like someone just posted, a lot of companies are not hiring qualified people, just people.
Yeah. They're also hiring people that they can manipulate.
Oh yeah.
I can hire somebody that's a low frequency person, and I can convince them, oh, this is my policy and procedure, and I can get them to implement it, and I don't got to work that hard. Then it's going to be a yes.
Yeah.
Because they can find a high hire. It is that person is going to might eventually take their job.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me throw something at you too before we wrap this up.
Okay.
I've been sharing when I talked with the audience earlier, talking about DEI and the changes that's been going on in social media and on the news. And I always like to spell it out for people and dealing with diversity, equity, and inclusion. What's your perspectives on that? Yeah, let me explain to people again. This is where organizations put together strategies to promote diversity and inclusion inside their workplace, inside the team, inside the organization. And it's to address unconscious bias and create an inclusive workplace. So with all that said, we got this special leader now, and it's causing a rift in everything that's going on. So give me your opinion on that in the different workplaces that you are in now and or have worked prior.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you a little snippet of of the company that I work for and the company that I left. So you have two companies. One company, and they're both construction companies, but I really can't give their name out. One company on a DEI level is a low performer, and the other company is a high performer. So you'll see women in leadership, you'll see blacks in leadership, you'll see Hispanics in leadership, and then you'll see the beauty of the different perspectives of having different nationalities working for company number two. Company number one is off of old tradition where it's the old white guy. It's your superintendent is going to be an old white guy. Your lead is going to be an old white guy. There's only probably 5 or 6. I'm gonna be real honest. Like in their leadership structure, they probably got 10 out of 500 are black. In this other company, number two, it's like you can't even tell. Like race is not an issue with the company. The company believes in DEI, and they have like Hispanic Heritage meeting where they fly all their Hispanic leaders to a conference. They'll do it for Black leaders, and then you have a mix of white and blacks at the Black conference and that kind of stuff. They don't single out whatever race that they're doing, and you can see how collaborative the company is. Now we do have some people that feels like it's too much. Like, man, this race thing is too much. We're giving this and we're giving that. By the way things are written of how to get jobs in construction, DBE company, women-owned businesses,
Right.
those are the only way that minorities can get these big contracts working on a job. So 2 companies, 2 different perspectives. One company is not where they need to be because of the low status of the DEI. The other company, it has thrived. One's a $2.2 billion company versus a $22.2 billion company. So
Right.
as you can see, with more diversity, they're able to get more jobs. So uplift schools, go out to schools to HBCUs, Hispanic schools, all kinds of stuff to get more people to come into their company. The other company, A, no, it ain't happening. If you ain't from these four schools, they don't recognize your school.
So they're not going. Yeah.
So I see the benefit of DEI. The president might not see it, but if you just look at who's really working in construction, who's really working the labor-intensive jobs and things like that, you're going to have to embrace the change.
The infrastructure of the nation.
Yeah, you're not like let's over here on the West Coast. When I drive to San Bernardino and you see all these fruits and oranges and all that stuff, that. Let's be realistic. I don't see a lot of white people out there working. I don't see no black people out there working. It's Hispanic people out there working, right?
Yeah.
The food that you're eating today has been touched by somebody from a different race. So you're more DEI than you even know. You're accepting their product, and people don't understand that.
Hey, that's why, man, I think it's so important for us as people, not necessarily a race, but people, to get out of our cities and go travel, man. I see so many people that have never been outside of a city and outside their state. And
so terrible.
It's terrible, but it's more there than you think it's not.
Yeah, it's more common.
It's common. It's very common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things that when I was working with the kids in the detention and the group home and residence, man, a lot of them kids, unless they got shipped to another placement, they ain't never in another city.
Yeah. Yeah, they think
so
I was
seen nothing else. Yeah, if they ain't seen nothing else, you ain't gonna you don't know how to adjust.
Right.
And the America that I have seen is not the America that people watch on TV. I've been to Ohio, where you think that all these white people feel like they're so high and mighty, and they living in shacks. I'm talking about roof. They got kids in a house, and the roof is not even stable. Places in Florida, places in Alabama, where they be like, "Oh, it's white or nothing," and now look how they live. Roof is falling and caving in. You just gotta take a drive to Mississippi. You take a drive to Mississippi and see all the cotton fields that's out there and the houses that people live in.
Yeah. You got anything for us, Big Mom, before I wrap this up?
No, y'all got it. I'm listening. I'm enjoying this brotherhood. Man,
that's what's up, man. I appreciate you too, man. You know, a lot of people don't know that we work together, but you know, dealing with you all, man, and from a work perspective, making sure the culture was conducive, one, for learning, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, structure. that was very important, and to be a role model for our kids that did not have the best upbringing or didn't have positive role models, man. And every day we came to work, man, it was more than a job, man. We came to work to be mentor coaches and father examples to a lot of these kids.
Yes,
You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? So, man, I appreciate you all, man. I appreciate y'all coming on. I appreciate y'all taking a little time out, man, and just coming and, as we say, fellowship and bonding and discussing different perspectives of leadership on today. And I pray that y'all all have a good rest of the week. And I'm going to wrap it up and let the people know I appreciate you for joining us on today. Each
Oh, no problem,
Wednesday,
no
we're
problem.
going to be, at, YouTube or Facebook. I'm going to post it out there. And so I
All right.
just remember, small victories lead to greater success. I am Dr. Woods, and you have just been hit by